Welcome, everyone, to San Diego Sports Talk, the John Kentera Show on YouTube. You can also follow me on Facebook at John Kentera and on X at Coach Kentera44. And we would certainly appreciate it if you'd subscribe. We're working our way towards 2,000 subscribers. We'd like to hit that number and continue to grow. And want to thank everyone for all their great comments. I got a couple of things I want to share with you. Number one, I know a lot of people are saying, hey, Coach, you got to get a microphone aside from your iPods. Well, I got news for you. It's ordered, and we're going to get that here real soon. And also real soon, we're going to have a live show where we'll be able to take comments during the program. So stay tuned for that. As the Padres work their way towards the playoffs, we're working our way into podcast land, and want to thank everyone. It's been a very nice run, a very surprising run. I really didn't know what to expect, but I thank you very much for all the positive comments. And throughout the course of the program, we're going to bring up different topics. And on our YouTube page, if you would, send us a comment about, your thoughts on the Padres or a certain player or something going on around San Diego in the sports world. I always like to keep up on everything that's going on. I try to cover it from the amateur ranks, high school to college to pros, but I can't be everywhere. But I certainly appreciate it if you want to drop me a note, whether it be on Facebook or on X or on our YouTube comments. Always looking forward to that. Again, please subscribe. And again, you can follow me on Facebook at John Kentera and on X at Coach Kentera44. Well, we got a lot to cover. A big win for the Padres on Tuesday night. Game one of a brief two-game series against the Seattle Mariners. Padres went out there, and they had their 36th come-from-behind victory. They fell behind early 2-0, but they rallied. They walked away with a 7-3 victory. They out-hit the Mariners on Tuesday night 11-10, and a lot to cover regarding Manny Machado setting the all-time franchise record for home runs, surpassing my old buddy, Nate Colbert. Nate held that record for 50 years, 163 career home runs, and Manny now has 164 in a Padres uniform. There were a lot of stars on Tuesday night, but we got to talk about Manny. Manny had another big night, and he is just putting together an incredible season right now. You go back to the Tuesday night game 6 inning, a 2-run homer, his 26th of the year, 164th of his career, breaking that franchise record. And he's just putting together a great year. I mean, his batting average is going up, and I'm going to share some numbers with you that are just going to just knock you out of your chair. I mean, Manny Machado this year, now on the year, is hitting 276 with 26 bombs and 94 RBIs, and he's got an OPS of 801. But the thing that's even more impressive, listen to this. Manny in his last 67 games has 61 RBIs. I mean, he's become an RBI machine. And then you go back to his previous 66 games, and you can say, well, he's coming off the shoulder, or, he's got a hand problem. Hey, you know what? Whatever it is, the guy has really picked it up. But in the previous 66 games, from March 30th to June 19th, he had 29 RBIs. 29 RBI. He was not having a good year. And now all of a sudden he's got 61 ribbies in his last 67 games and just doing a marvelous job. Playing the usual great third base. I don't know if he's going to win the Gold Glove. He hadn't won a Gold Glove in the National League. Arenado won it, 10 straight years. Of course, Manny won a couple over there with the Baltimore Orioles, and Cabrian Hayes has won one for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I don't know if Manny will get one this year or not. He DH'd early in the year. I don't know what goes into that. But I just know the guy's playing great baseball, and the Padres are going to make the playoffs. It would be a monumental collapse if the Padres don't make the playoffs. They got a 2.5-game lead right now in the wild card, and you're running out of ball games. And they even cut into the Dodger lead. Dodgers got beat for the second straight night on Tuesday night by the Chicago Cubs. Padres 4.5 games back in the division, but a lot of things that have to happen for them to win the division. But they're going to the playoffs. But Manny just putting up some incredible numbers right now, hotter than a baker's apron. We got to talk about Yu Darvish. Yu Darvish out since May 29th, came back in his first rehab start. It wasn't even a rehab start. he didn't make one down in the minor leagues. They just threw him out there in the big leagues. He went 2 2/3. That first time out against Detroit didn't fare all that well, but man, he gave up a couple of solo homers on Tuesday night. But after that, last 3 innings, he was Yu Darvish and really looked good. I mean, second start since May 29th, gave up 2 solo homers, ended up going 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, both earned, no walks, 5 strikeouts. But here's the key, and this is Yu Darvish in a nutshell. He faced 20 batters on Tuesday night and had first pitch strikes to 19 of them. Can't get any better than that. And I'm not saying he's going to do that next time out. It's a work in progress. We'll see how he feels Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll see how he comes out of his next start. But the guy takes good care of himself. And, you got to get his feet wet. I mean, being out on a major league mound is not that easy, going against these dynamite hitters. I mean, some of the best in the game, when they're pitching on regular rest and regular rotation, they go out there and they get banged around. So I was very, very encouraged on Tuesday night by Yu Darvish. Very encouraged. So we'll see where it goes. But, man, even if he doesn't start in the playoffs, if he could come out of the bullpen for a couple of innings, give the bullpen a little bit of a breather, almost go with 2 starters, maybe a Michael King, maybe a Yu Darvish, or Dylan Cease and a Yu Darvish. And then, you get to the back end of your rotation of your bullpen. But that was a very encouraging sign on Tuesday night. Okay, we got to talk about Xander Bogaerts. I, for one, was not for moving him off a shortstop. He played fine in 2023. He was fine. Yeah, maybe he doesn't have the range factor and everything they look at, but the guy makes a routine play. And the routine play is the one that normally beats you when you're not making it. But you know what? I think he had some consternation about moving back to shortstop. Number one, the footwork. You got to make a lot longer throw. It's a different throwing motion. Your arm's at a different angle. But the Padres, they probably told him when Ha-Seong Kim went down, hey, we got to get you to take some ground balls at short. And, he's a team guy. He moved over to second without a big fuss. He didn't claw and scratch and, pound his feet on the ground. Okay. He went over there and did what was best for the ball club. And then he missed significant time because of the shoulder injury. But, they got him into 3 games briefly at shortstop. You go back to last Sunday, he played the last 4 innings at shortstop. And really, I think this is the best lineup. Maybe you give up a little bit defensively, but you're not giving up anything as far as experience, knowing how to play hitters. I'm fine with this. In fact, I think he may be your shortstop again in 2025. I don't know if Ha-Seong Kim is coming back. They've got to work out a deal to bring him back. And I don't know if Ha-Seong Kim's coming back this year. They kind of slowed him down. He was throwing on Saturday, and they kind of slowed him down. That shoulder just wasn't right. Now, they're saying maybe another week or 2. Who knows? Another week or 2 may lead to 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 5 weeks. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe, I don't know if Ha-Seong Kim will be back. Until he gets back, we don't know. But Xander Bogaerts moved over there. And Xander's not having a great year offensively. I was looking at his numbers, hitting .263, 9 homers, 36 RBIs, and OPS of .682. He's a better player than that. But he's contributed. There's no doubt about it. But has he been the impact guy that we hoped when the Padres signed him and gave him that long-term contract? No, he hasn't. And I'm a Xander Bogaerts fan, but you got to be honest. He's not having a great year, but, he's a contributing factor. He's making the line move. And this ball club is playing good, solid baseball. Okay? So we covered them. And now I want to tell you a little bit about our sponsors. We got 2 great sponsors, Grangetto's Farm and Garden Supply. The first one I'm going to tell you about today. They're really incredible company. They've been in business since 1952. I mean, over 70 years. They've been serving San Diego County. They've got locations in Escondido, Fallbrook, and Encinitas. And the thing that I love about Grangetto's, because I'm a community guy, they're great community people. And, one of the things that I'm aware of, because I have friends that have been to these meetings, believe it or not, Grangetto's is on the board of the San Diego County Farm Bureau. They assist high schools, FFA programs. If you don't know what FFA is, it's Future Farmers of America. They help the kids out, learn how to get the job done. in that area. They also offer advice to garden clubs. Anybody that needs some help with their landscape, they're willing to help you out. And by the way, if you're at a garden club, get a hold of Grangetto's. You can go to their website. You can send them a message. You can also sign up for their great newsletter. You get twice a month. I get it in my inbox. Got one late last week. But if you've got a garden club, get a hold of Kevin Grangetto and the Grangetto's family, and they'll actually come out and be a guest speaker at one of your luncheons or one of your banquets. So again, go to their website, grangettos.com. Great community people. And again, for all your farm and gardening needs, Grangetto's Farm and Garden Supply, again, they've stood the test of time since 1952. You can't be mediocre being in business for over 70 years if you're mediocre. You know why they're in business? Because they're number one in the market. Number one in the market by far. So again, sign up for their newsletter. If you got a question or something you need to find out about, go ahead and email them at grangettos.com. And we certainly thank them for their sponsorship here on the John Kentera Show on San Diego Sports Talk. Okay, I want to get back to talking about some of the Padre players. Luis Arraez. Now, I want to make this statement, and I don't want people to say I'm bagging on Luis Arraez, because I'm not. He's my type of guy, quite frankly, because the guy puts the ball in play, never strikes out. He's gone well over 100 plate appearances now without striking out. He struck out twice since the All-Star break. But he's not Tony Gwynn, okay? And I know everybody wants to make comparisons that he's Tony Gwynn. He's not Tony Gwynn, okay? Now, he's on his way, and I would be shocked if he doesn't win his third consecutive batting title. Starting play on Wednesday night, he's hitting .318. The next closest qualified hitter in the National League is Marcell Ozuna from the Atlanta Braves, and Marcell Ozuna is hitting .305. And when you've garnered this many at-bats, it's going to be hard to go down a whole lot, and it's going to be really hard to go up a whole lot. And Marcell Ozuna would have to get red hot here the last, 15, 16 games to be able to catch Luis Arraez, or Arraez would have to go 0 for the rest of the year. I mean, he's going to win his third consecutive batting title. Think about that. He won it 2 years ago with Minnesota and, put up really, really nice numbers in Minnesota. He hit .316 that year to win the AL batting crown. Last year with Miami, he hit a whopping .354 to win the National League batting crown. He got a great chance to win his third consecutive batting crown. When he starts getting to the fifth and sixth batting crown, then we'll revisit the Tony Gwynn comparisons. Tony had more power than Arraez, and Tony, as we know, wasn't a home run hitter. But this guy can flat out put the ball in play. And if you ever go on X and track down Luis Arraez, I was watching a tape of him. I watch tape on hitters all the time. I'm fascinated by hitting and by pitching, but hitting is so difficult nowadays with these guys throwing 100 miles an hour, even though half of them don't know where it's going, and their off-speed stuff is probably not all that great. Watching him take batting practice is really, really fun. And when he got to the Padres, I was really excited. I like guys that put the ball in play. I have a really hard time as a coach. I had it as a player, and I certainly have it as a fan of the Padres when guys strike out. The Padres right now, least strikeouts of any team in Major League Baseball this year. That's why they're where they're at, because they put the ball in play. So I'm pulling for Luis Arraez to win that batting title. Okay, three other players I want to talk about. Fernando Tatis Jr., a big night Tuesday night, 2 for 5, 3-run homer, his 15th, hitting .276, 15 bombs, 40 RBIs. But the home run was fantastic, and it gave the Padres the lead, and they never gave it up after that. But how about that throw? To throw out Polanco to end the fourth inning. He's going to the right center field gap, and he's less than 100%. I talked about it on the last podcast. He's not 100%. And every day that he's in the lineup, I'm thankful right now, because I'm worried that they're going to have to, really slow him down, because that hip's just not right. He doesn't have the explosion, doesn't have the speed and the strength in that right leg right now. But that play he made, I don't know if there's anybody, seriously, I don't know if there's anybody else in baseball that could have made that play. Going to right center field and throwing off balance, a one-hop shot to second base, and they tag out Polanco for the out to end the fourth inning. Wow. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing. A lot of guys wouldn't even have probably tried to make the throw, let alone make it off balance. They'd have tried to stop, drive off their back leg, and that the runner Polanco would have been safe by a mile. But Fernando, with that great arm strength, great body balance, great athleticism, one-hop shot, and gets Polanco at second base. That's going to be on the Padre highlight reel this year. That was amazing. Okay, the two other players I want to talk about was Xander Bogaerts going over to shortstop, and I talked about this like 2 weeks ago, and then the Padres, they put this into play. I mean, I can see things ahead of time from having been around the ball field once or twice in my life. And, we called the Nick Ahmed signing, even though he hasn't come up, wouldn't be eligible for postseason play. I said when he was still a member of the Dodgers, if the Dodgers, DFA, Nick Ahmed, Padres, I'll probably sign him. And, they did. And they could still bring him up. He just wouldn't be eligible in postseason play, and they'd have to make a roster move to bring him up. For the last week or two, might not be a bad deal, but you'd lose a player, or you'd have to put a player on the 60-day IL. But by moving Bogaerts to shortstop and sliding Cronenworth over, like I mentioned, you got Donovan Solano in at first base, and he rewarded the Padres in the first game in Seattle. 2 for 3, a walk, scored 2 runs. Having a great year right now, hitting .292, 6 homers, 31 RBIs. And the other thing you can do is when you got a tough right-hander on the mound, you want to give Solano a night off. You put Arraez at first base, left-hand hitter, and you give David Peralta an opportunity to be the designated hitter. You can't forget about Peralta. He's come up with some big hits for this ball club. And Mike Schild has done a really nice job all year long keeping people involved. So this move of Bogaerts is going to make this ball club better. It really is. And I really don't think they're giving up a whole lot defensively myself. I'm partial to Bogaerts. Mason McCoy did a great job. No question about it. Defensively, did a nice job laying down bunts, moving runners along. He's 10 for 49 right now. Last, 13 plate appearances, hadn't got on base. They had to make a move. And I think they made that move because now they're getting a little concerned Ha-Seong Kim may not be back. Maybe at all. So you need that offense come playoff time. But Mason McCoy, there's a spot for him to, come in the late innings. Padres have a lead. You put him in on defense, give Bogaerts a little time off. All right, I want to tell you about one of our other great sponsors, and I mean great sponsors, Reliable Home Buyers. You can go to their website, yourreliableHomebuyers.com. I was talking to somebody a couple of days ago that is in the home industry, and I was telling them about Reliable Home Buyers and how they're a sponsor. They go, oh, man, you got a really good sponsor, Coach. And they were telling me all the accolades. And this is somebody that's not related to homebuyers.com, okay? They're just in the market. They do real estate. And they go, man, you got a great company that's helping sponsor your program. A comprehensive real estate services. Reliable Home offers a full spectrum of real estate services, buying, selling, finance, and even purchasing old and ugly houses with cash. Again, you can give them a call at 858-422-4116, 858-422-4116, or you can visit them at yourreliablehomebuyers.com. And again, if you're looking to flip a house quick, get a hold of them. Maybe your first-time buyer. Get a hold of yourreliablehomebuyers.com. Do that today. And again, their phone number, 858-422-4116. Hey, they buy, sell, they give you great advice. Make sure you do it. And make sure when you get a hold of them, whether it's through email, whether it's through a phone call, they come out, they talk to you. Make sure you heard it from the coach, John Kentera, yourreliablehomebuyers.com. And I would tell you, if you're looking to buy a home, I saw those rates are starting to go down. Get a hold of them today. Okay, Wednesday night, 6:40. Final game of the brief 2-game set up in Seattle at T-Mobile Park. It'll be right-hander Michael King in my opinion, the most consistent starter for the Padres this year, 12-8 with a 3.10 ERA, going against rookie right-hander Brian Wu, who's 7-2 in a 2.36 ERA. One other guy I wanted to mention here is Robert Suarez. Robert, on Tuesday night, went out and picked up his 32nd save. And I was thinking about this when I was writing it down, getting ready for the program. That's his 8th save this year of 4 outs or more. And for whatever reason, it just popped into my head of Josh Hader. Remember last year, Josh Hader didn't want to throw more than 3 outs. And I know he got the big contract with Houston, and, that wasn't really being a team player. I also realized when he was with Milwaukee, they pitched his arm off, and he was going to be a free agent at the end of last year. But he didn't want to pitch 4 outs. And Robert Suarez, even though I think he's probably been worn down at different points in time, and the Padres have had an opportunity to give him some time off this year. There were a couple of months where it didn't seem like we saw him a whole lot. But recently, he's kind of, given up a run here and there. But he went out there in a very difficult situation on Tuesday night. And I thought, aside from Tanner Scott, the bullpen performed very well on Tuesday night. Tanner Scott had a rough going, but, they bailed him out. But Robert Suarez came in, got a 4-out save, and again, his 8th 4-out or more save this year. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that because I'm a big Robert Suarez fan. All right, let's take a look at the standings. Dodgers are having all kinds of problems with the Chicago Cubs. They've dropped the first 2 games of the series. The Dodgers did get some good news on Tuesday night. Yamamoto, the big right-hander they signed last offseason from Japan, who's been out forever, he came back and pitched really well on Tuesday night. He went 4 innings. He was on a pitch count, struck out 8 in 4 innings. I think he threw 63 pitches. But the Dodgers right now still in real good shape as we whittle down the 2024 regular season. A 4.5-game lead over our Padres, a 5-game lead over Arizona. Giants having a lot of problems up there. They've dropped 6 out of their last 10. They're 71-74, 15 games back, and then Colorado at 54-91, 32 games back. Padres right there, though. And remember, Padres have those games against the Dodgers, the final regular season week. They got 3 there and 3 in Arizona, but the Padres are 4.5 games back. Now in the wild card, Padres sitting in pretty good shape right now at 82-64, 2.5-game lead. You got Arizona, 2-game lead, and then you've got New York Mets and the Braves. Look like they're just kind of going back and forth, both at 79-66. And I'll tell you what, man, the Cubbies are playing good baseball right now. They really are. They've won 6 of 10. They've won 3 in a row, sitting at 75-70. Craig Counsell's ball club really starting to put the pedal to the metal, but I don't know if they've got enough to catch the people in front of them right now. But a 4-game log jam for the Cubs to try to get by Atlanta, the Mets, Diamondbacks, and Padres. We'll see where it goes. Okay, let's talk just a little bit about college football. Saturday night up in Berkeley, Aztecs will take the field once again against the California Golden Bears, now out of the ACC. California Golden Bears, last week they went down to Alabama. They didn't play Alabama, they played Auburn. And they defeated Auburn. And Hugh Freeze, the head coach at Auburn, just getting crushed this week. Just absolutely getting crushed. But nonetheless, Cal went in there and beat the Auburn squad 21-14. They're an 18.5-point favorite over the Aztecs. Aztecs got shut out in a game that I was at, 21-0 by Oregon State. Going to be tough. Going to be a very tough game for the Aztecs. We'll see how far they've come in 1 week by going up to Cal. It's going to be a 7:30 kickoff on Saturday night. USD 2-0. They got a bye this week, and then they'll go on the road coming up on September 21st. They'll go up and take on North Dakota State. Following that game, they'll open up PFL play, Pioneer Football League play, at Drake the following week. So Brandon Moore, the head coach, second-year head coach, had to deal with a lot in his first year. Got his team off to a really, really nice start. We'll see if they can be a player in the Pioneer Football League this year. They dominated it for so many years, and last year really struggled mightily, I should say. Okay, the fundraiser I'm going to on Saturday night, second annual Punchers in Little Italy Amateur Boxing Showcase, set to honor the great boxing promoter and great restaurateur Bobby D. Philippe, a personal friend of mine. That's going to take place at Washington Elementary School in Little Italy. Last year, they raised over $40,000 for the kids at Washington Elementary, underprivileged kids. Doors open at 5:30, first bout 6 o'clock. They're going to have 10 3-round bouts. Ought to be a lot of fun. For tickets, you can go to bobbydE.org, or you can call 619-420-8866. Bobby D Foundation, nonprofit, and again, it supports the underprivileged students at Washington Elementary School Foundation. And again, it'll be this Saturday night. Doors open at 5:30, and the first punches will be thrown at 6 o'clock. Second annual Punches in Little Italy Amateur Boxing Showcase at Washington Elementary School in Little Italy. Okay, the final thing I wanted to bring up, and I try to do this each and every week, the Union Tribune poll. I vote in this poll and have for many years. There are 30 voters. And just wanted to run through the top 10 here for you. I'll start at number 10, El Camino. They're 2-1. Last week, El Camino pounded Rancho Buena Vista 48-12. Number 9, the La Jolla Vikings, 3-0. Vikings blew out Rick Jackson, Madison Warhawks 23-3. Mount Miguel's really good. And I'm not quite sure how they went from being ranked 6th in the county down to 8th. They dropped 2 spots with a tough, hard-fought victory over La Jolla Country Day. Mount Miguel 3-0, and they defeated La Jolla Country Day in a tight battle. Number 7, Carlsbad, 2-1, easily beat San Pasqual 42-12. La Costa Canyon, Sean Sovakol, the head coach up there, been there a number of years at La Costa Canyon, has his Mavericks at number 6 this week. They're 3-0, an outstanding win from Southern Section opponent San Clemente, 28-14. Mission Hills at number 5. Congratulations to Chris Hauser, winning his 200th game as a high school football coach. He coached a couple of years as the head coach at Vista, moved over to Mission Hills, and has put together an outstanding football program there. And just a side note, Chris Hauser, back many years ago when he was a JV coach at Vista, used to be a Friday night reporter for me on my high school scoreboard show that I did for 25 years. So congratulations to Chris Hauser, his Mission Hills Grizzlies 2-1. They got by the Oceanside Pirates 28-14. Number 4, San Marcos 3-0, blasted Mater Dei Catholic 58-14. Granite Hills, who previously was number 1, they went on the road and took on Gilbert, Arizona, ranked very highly in the Arizona area. Gilbert, Arizona defeated the Granite Hills Eagles 39-21. Granite Hills now 2-1. Cathedral Catholic, they rolled to a 27-13 victory over Mountain View of Arizona in the Honor Bowl. Cathedral Catholic now number 2 in the county at 3-0. And number 1 this week, Lincoln, 2-1. They went on the road to Nevada and beat up on the number 6 team ranked in Nevada, Coronado High School, 51-14. So the Union Tribune top 10 this week: Lincoln number 1, Cathedral Catholic number 2, Granite Hills number 3, San Marcos number 4, Mission Hills number 5, La Costa number 6, Carlsbad number 7, Mount Miguel number 8, La Jolla number 9, and El Camino number 10. So there you have it, folks. Padres will play one more game in Seattle. They'll be off on Thursday. We'll have another podcast for you coming out on Friday morning. Get you ready for the series against the San Francisco Giants. And just wanted to give you a few numbers before I get out of here. Padres with the win on Tuesday night. Again, 82-64. On the year on the road now, they're 42-29. They're 5-3 in the month of September. They're 1-2 so far this year against the Seattle Mariners. Games remaining going into Wednesday night. Padres have 16 games remaining. They got 1 game in Seattle, 3 up in San Francisco, 3 at Petco Park against the Houston Astros on September 16th, 17th, and 18th. And then the final home regular season series will be against the Chicago White Sox. I'm looking for a sweep. The White Sox, unbelievable how bad they are. Unbelievable. But the Padres play the White Sox in 3 games at Petco Park on the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. And then the final 6 games will be on the road. 3 at Dodger Stadium and 3 in Arizona. So we'll see how it shakes out. But right now, Padres in, I think, really, really good shape. And just stay healthy. More than anything else, just stay healthy. And until I revisit you on Friday, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to YouTube, San Diego Sports Talk, the John Kentera Show. Reminder, you can send me messages on our YouTube page on the comments. You can also send them to me on Facebook, John Kentera, or on X at Coach Kentera 44. And again, please, we're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. Please help me out on that. And again, we'll talk to you again on Friday. Have a great few days, folks. And go Padres. Let's get that win against the Seattle Mariners and get a well-deserved off day on Thursday in the Bay Area and get ready for those San Francisco Giants on Friday night. Thanks again for tuning in. Bye-bye.